Welcome back to the Culturally Distinct podcast. I'm glad you guys tuned back into the show. I know this is something new for me. We haven't done a Zoom interview since COVID, but the circumstances, I'm away from the studio. But I appreciate you guys who tune in. Continue to support. Continue to tell a friend to tell a friend. Make sure that you people us up on YouTube, Apple, Spotify, all your podcast channels. Make sure you tune in. Today we have a special guest for you guys today. This is something special, especially for the city of Houston. This individual is a businessman. You've probably seen this individual in the streets, but you didn't know that he has a product that I wanted to talk about. But this product actually is a Black-owned product, and it's a product that most of us probably indulge in, and we're going to get more into it as we talk about it in the interview. I'd like everybody to welcome to the show, Mr. Ron Lockett.
All right. Thank you very much. I appreciate it.
What's going on, brother? How you doing?
Hey, I'm doing great. Great to be a part of the show, and to definitely thank you for reaching out, and I'm glad to be able to share the story of our brand and kind of the history of it, and definitely I think it'll be very enlightening to everyone.
So, Ron, tell the people exactly. So, a little bit about yourself. Tell the people where you're from.
Okay. So I've been in Houston a while. I grew up in Indianapolis, but I went to college at Prairie View A&M University. I have a lot of family history and ties to Prairie View, right outside of Houston. And so I've been in Texas for 25 years or more, since graduating from school. And I have, deep roots to Houston area, both sides of my family, a lot of legacy going to HBCUs. I'm actually a fourth generation Prairie View graduate, fourth generation HBCU graduate. And so that really is one of the things that led me and my partners to, going into this type of business with our HBCU legacy and history.
Absolutely. So Ron, tell us take us a journey down how you started for as entrepreneurship, because I know a lot of I know at HBCU, especially because I'm a graduate as well as you, we really didn't have entrepreneurship classes. We probably had business courses or like strategies on business, on how to conduct business, but we never had entrepreneurs classes to teach us how to go out in the field and become an entrepreneur. How did you learn that?
Right. No, that's a good point. Yeah. So really, I learned it by, seeing a lot of, I know in Houston, when I moved to Houston, realized it's almost a land of opportunity. A lot of people have their own businesses, and it's really progressive about giving opportunity, especially to African Americans. So I've been, my professional career, I've always had some other businesses I've always, been a part of, from in the past. I've had a transportation company where I owned a fleet of trucks, had those over the road. I was a partner in ownership of a bar and lounge here in Houston about 10 years ago. Even dabbled in was a part owner in a daycare facility for a few years. So I've always had that niche. I call myself kind of a serial entrepreneur. I've always just kind of taking risks, because I've always been told that, the people that are really making the money, that are really making it, they're not working for someone else. They have their own business. They have to make their own income, and you don't want to always be stuck where you're depending on someone else to give you a check, because that could, as we know, in this economy, that could change overnight.
Absolutely. Yeah. So in saying that, because that's important, because especially a lot of younger individuals, especially Black, that's important that you say that. Now, especially since COVID, the entrepreneur phase, I don't know if you know the number, but since COVID, they said that over 200,000 new businesses was created during COVID.
That sounds right. Yeah.
Now, out of those 200,000, I don't know how many of them are legit, but
Right. Yeah, everybody had a hustle going. Everybody had something.
Absolutely. But that 200,000 entrepreneurs that started, they had to basically learn it on their own. And they figure out, like you said earlier, the person that's making the most money is the person that has their own business.
Right.
So in that concept, what made you get into, first of all, let's talk about the vodka.
Okay.
All right. Yeah. Before we even get into the business side of that. So the vodka name, so you have a vodka, and it's called GO3, right?
Yes, yes. So we have a vodka called GO3, which stands for General Orders Number 3.
Okay.
And what the significance of that is, you know, partners and I, we started in this process about 2 years ago, and we were all HBCU graduates, all African Americans, and we wanted something that gave homage to our history. And you know, as we studied Juneteenth, and it means, you know, we celebrated for years in Texas, and it just became a federal holiday last year. But we delve into that and said, okay, what is that about? And so on Juneteenth, 1865, the day that the Texas slaves were notified they were free, the general that came to Galveston, he read the orders. Those orders were called General Orders Number 3, and
Wow.
the
Okay.
orders in summary basically said the slaves in Texas are free. And so that is, you know, we call it sometimes Jubilee Day or Emancipation Day or just Juneteenth. And so we said we need to make our brand about this, about that story, to make sure everyone understands it. So you know, with our product, you know, we called it GO3 or General Orders Number 3, and on the bottle we have inscribed those general orders that were read by General Gordon Granger. We give homage to Juneteenth. We have that on the bottle. We have 1865, which is the year of the freedom,
Wow.
and so everything was about, you know, independence, freedom, and you know, really giving back, and, you know, to heritage, to, you know, to our community. And what we say is not only independence for Black people. I mean, it celebrates independence for everyone. Everyone, you know, is in a, in a form of celebrating their independence.
Right. So so now so now a Black man in the city of Houston, and your partners are Black, I take it, right?
Yes, yes, they are.
Partners are Black. What made you guys say, okay, man, let's go ahead and get into the spirits? You
Yeah,
know, it's like you said earlier, like we get into, like, you know, transportation or real estate or developing land and things of that nature. But why, and how did y'all come up with investing into a brand, liquor brand?
okay, you know, good question. So one, you know, I've had, like I said, about owning a bar and lounge. So I've understood the spirits industry for a number of years, and my friends and I who partnered together, we hosted events. We always host events for he graduated my business. One of my business partners, Mike Williams, graduated from Texas Southern. I graduated from Prairie View. We would always do events together with our school supporting us. We worked with our National Alumni Association, and we would get we'd reach out to the big name liquor companies to get sponsorships, and they would say, well, because of the time of year, we could only give you this much, we could only do this, and we got tired of always being told no, or we could only give you this much. And we, you know, we kind of just said, you know what, we should come up with our own spirit company, and we could direct the funds where we want to, we could support our own causes. And so that's where it started, you know. And so we talked about it for many years. We studied what kind of spirit, and vodka is the number one selling alcohol in the world.
Okay.
And so we said, okay, that's why we chose vodka. And we target kind of our, you know, the way we do our branding towards ladies. We know ladies are a huge consumer. They, they kind of lead the trends. They really do lead the trends. Black women, and so we wanted to kind of mold our whole brand towards that, make it appeasing to the Black woman. And so we kind of craft things. So if you look at our bottle, I wish I had one with me here, but it's you know, when first people see the bottle, they say, oh, wow, that's a sexy bottle. You know, it has that appeal there. And then, you know, of course, we have the story. We always tell people the story about it, so we have that story. And then what's really unique is the type of vodka. So most vodkas are a corn-based vodka, or you know, Syrah's with grapes, or you have a wheat base. Very few vodkas are potato based. So we decided we want to make a potato vodka that's very smooth. And so we blended russet potato and sweet potato, which is, you rarely see that at all. So and also a little bit of corn. So it's a blend of those three products, and it gives it a great smooth taste. And that sweet potato, it's not really, doesn't give it a flavor, but it's like a hint of sweetness, kind of, that you taste. And it's, you know, that we get rave reviews just of the smoothness and the taste of the vodka, and it mixes well with any mixer.
I'm glad you said that, because I know I'm not a connoisseur of vodka, but I know that the brand forget the brand, but I know it's also based potatoes. I think it's Tito's, I think.
Well, Tito's is mostly corn, but there's a Chopin is one that's pretty
Propane. Okay.
potato. Yeah, Chopin. Yeah, a lot of and it is much smoother, and people like that smoothness as well. It doesn't give you that bite or that burn. And so
Okay.
yeah,
So
we're looking for that.
so now I know you said for the branding side of it, which is intelligent, you said that ladies, of course, love it because they want to feel sexy. They want to, you have mixed drinks, these little fruit-free drinks.
Right,
The
right. Lemon
women want
drop
to,
and things
feel
like
sexy.
that.
Right. But they want the good taste at the end of the day.
Right.
Uh, now you said the vodka at last segment, you said the vodka was like from 18, well, you paid homage to 1865,
Right.
Juneteenth.
Hmm.
Why was that so important in collabing the vodka with Juneteenth?
I think it went back to our story, our partnership, because we're all HBCU grads. We all have, we support our universities, our partnership team, and we're always giving back. And so we said, the reason why in Texas we are free, why we celebrate freedom, is because of Juneteenth. So let's kind of mold our brand and give homage to our brand around Juneteenth. So that's the real significance of it. And we look at, okay, why are we able to have our own business? Why are we able to start our entrepreneurship role is because that freedom we had starting when we were told in Texas in Juneteenth 1865. Now,
Right.
one key thing that I really love to mention is, so because of the year 1865, we took the last three numbers at 865. So we pledged to donate 8.65% of all of our profits to HBCUs.
Okay.
That is something that we're committed to do. We've already started doing it, a lot of it locally, since right now we're just in Texas, and we're by the first of the year we'll be in other states.
Okay.
We made large donations to Texas Southern University and Prairie View A&M University as well.
So that's good. That's good for as donation because one of the biggest stigmas in Black college is what
We
we
don't
don't
give
give
back.
back.
We
I
don't
think
support, right.
Deion Sanders had a number, actual metric. It says out of everybody that graduates per year, only 8% of that population gives back.
Give back. Wow. Yeah.
So what you said was major for us that how you correlate the 1865 to the 8.65% of proceeded donations to HBCUs from your sales. That's beautiful. So also now let me ask you about for as pushback. Because I'm pretty sure it's a Black company, right?
Right.
And when you go into these different stores or in these different people that want to, you place your vodka, I'm pretty sure you had pushback.
So there have been, yeah. So we've been on the market. We launched this year at Juneteenth, so it's a little over 3 months, and we're blessed right now to be in about 100 locations throughout Texas, liquor stores, restaurants, and bars. But we do get, yeah, it's not always favorable reception when we start off. They want to know, they always want to know what's your story. So we tell the story, and a lot of times we might get funny looks, or but a lot of times they understand. It's like because we decided, we knew we're going through this. We said, look, we're going to be unapologetically Black. It's going to be no doubt about it. You look at the bottle, you hear our story, who we are, what we're about. And so we're not ashamed of it. So we tell the story. So sometimes we've had a lot of liquor stores, restaurants, they're just on board. They're like, I love it. I'm glad you're doing this. These may be, non-African Americans, but they're supportive. And there are some that, they're kind of slow. They say, well, we buy this other brand. This is what sells the most. And so we have to do a little more negotiation where we'll say, okay, just buy a couple bottles. We'll come in and do a tasting, and we'll see how your guests like it. And so at that point, that's when we have to, our product has to work for itself. The taste of it and the smoothness speaks for itself. They pass the ownership team and our history.
Yeah, because I want to stay on that point for a second, because I know a lot of people get discouraged, especially when they don't look at it as a business. A lot of people look at it as a colored business, not just saying the GO3 brand. Like, for instance, a tequila. The first thing you're gonna think about is Mexico, right?
Right.
If somebody Black or somebody Jewish or Asian or Italian gets into the tequila game, nobody's going to ask why are they in that tequila game.
Right.
This is us getting into something like that, because I wanted to know what was some discouraging moments when it came? Because I know you guys just started, but it's still discouraging moments.
Oh yeah, oh yeah.
For as starting the brand, because I know for as at the beginning, the passion is there, the drive is there, you know, the focus, but after so many no's or so many
Oh
saying,
yeah.
you know, I don't want to help out. What is that like? How did you overcome that?
Yeah. It's tough, and we get those, and it's just we're determined, you know, as a team, as far as when we get those no's, we'll say okay, and it's funny, you know, people will tell us, okay, no, you can't compete against you know, the larger vodka brands that everyone knows, that are, you know, the household names. And you know, that some of the restaurants will tell us, well, no, we have loyalty here, or we have some contracts with this brand, and we have to sell so many cases. And so we say that's fine. And what we tell them, I said, well, you know, maybe down the road, you know, you'll reach out to our distributor, and you'll bring it in, because I think that's what's going to happen. What's going to happen is the customer is going to request it, and if they get enough customers going in asking, we want GO3 vodka. Do you have a GO3?
Mm-hmm.
They're going to be forced to bring it in. So they'll come back to us, and you know, they'll have to order it, you know, from our distillery that's in Houston, or you know, from our distributor. So, you know, we don't get discouraged. We just keep, you know, keep knocking on more doors, keep reaching out, setting up meetings. But, you know, it's a tough task. You know, you know, all of our team members, we still work full time. We have full-time jobs. So
Okay.
we're doing this every evening after work, every weekend. We're out, you know, doing tastings. We're out doing events, hosting events. You know, just yesterday we had a big, it was National Vodka Day. So we had a big celebration and party where we're doing tastings, and it just, a lot of people were excited about it. So we're just trying to keep building the excitement. So people are now running to people that say, well, okay, I've seen that logo. What's that about? Or I've heard about it. And so they want to taste. So we're just moving through the market slowly, but just moving steady with it.
So who came up with the recipe?
I'd say I'd say my partner Mike. Mike, he definitely wanted to do something different, you know, and we were all looking at, we knew, you know, in every aspect we had to stand out from
Right.
the story, the taste, the look of the bottle. And so, you know, we talked about, you know, we had went around all different places tasting vodka, going to distilleries, studying it. And you know, he did mention, he said, we should try sweet potato vodka. He said, there's no other sweet potato vodka in Texas. It's very rare that you'll find it in the U.S. at all.
Yeah.
And, he's, you know, so we actually made trips out to distilleries that manufactured sweet potatoes, that actually made, and we wanted to, you know, kind of talk to them and understand it. We talked about, you know, getting the products authentically shipped in. So our sweet potatoes are shipped in from North Carolina, you know, and we have it's a manufacturing plant there that makes those specifically. We get our potatoes from Idaho. We have our sweet corn here in Texas, but we get it all shipped here to Houston, and we have it distilled locally, right in Fifth Ward.
Okay.
But it was we were very intentional, wanting something different, something that stood out, where it could really be, okay, that is, you know, that is a different product, and you know, kind of build that eagerness.
Okay, so now let me ask you this: for as any college kids, like for instance, PV or TSU, any kids that want to get into that game, how could they reach out to you guys to get in that game?
Oh, great. Yes. Yeah. So good point. So, you know, to initially answer it, of course, on social media, you know, we're very active on Instagram and Facebook. You can follow us at GO3 Vodka, for general orders, number 3 vodka, or on our website, www.go3vodka.com. And so we have areas where you can follow us. Of course, you can direct message us on our social media, and we're always doing, you know, podcasts, information sessions, hosting events, sponsoring events, and kind of most importantly, you know, just to answer your question, going back to the colleges, we've done business seminars. We've actually done seminars at universities, how to build a business, what does it take to get started, about putting a good team together, getting your capital, having a good solid business plan, and kind of, so we've been educating, doing that. And homecoming is coming up. It's homecoming season for a lot of HBCUs, and so we're going to have a presence at all the a lot of the schools in Houston, and a lot of other ones outside of the area as well. You know, talking about the brand, having actually given out samples, of course. You know, that's number one way to brand it, but giving information about who we are, what's the history of the brand, why we chose this, and kind of really want to be an inspiration to others that,
Right.
We went to school, the same school you went to. We made it, and if you have a plan, a vision, you can go for it. You can do it. So we just want to be that example. And really, we people have asked, well, do you want to have celebrity influencers? And we really want to just be we want to be someone you can touch and feel. You can reach out.
Organic.
Yeah, be really organic. Have the grassroots growth and organic. And we love when we post things and people make comments. Oh yeah, I know. I know the owner. Yeah, Ron Lockett, that's my frat brother, or Mike is a good friend of mine from college. And so we want to be where the people know us and can relate to us. And so that's what we really want to, make ourselves available for that at all times.
That's dope. That's dope. And one thing I like to say, because I tasted the vodka, so I don't drink. I'm not a big liquor drinker. I'm a wine guy, but I tasted the vodka and I was like, wow, this is real smooth. This is nice. And that's how I reached out to you guys, because I was like, well, let's see if this is on Instagram, social media. And I did. I was like, this is a real good tasting vodka and I'm a guy.
Right.
Okay. I was like, this is kind of smooth, what I'm saying? I like it. So that's dope what you guys doing. So could you give the people the actual social media addresses, or Facebook or Twitter or whatever you have?
Yeah, definitely. So we're on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. It is at GO3 Vodka. That's the O is not a zero. GO is in orders, general orders, 3, and it's the number 3. So GO3 Vodka on all social media, and then our website, www.go3vodka.com. You can go to the website, enter your zip code where it says find, and it'll tell you where all the locations are that we're selling or serving the alcohol in your area. To give you the top locations, so you can go there, support us by buying a bottle. Go to your local bar or restaurant and buy a drink. And like we always say, when you're doing that, you're supporting HBCUs, because we're getting donations back to HBCUs for every 8% of all profits, all sales.
What about any events that you guys got coming up? I know you said homecoming, but anything, I know within the city of Houston, but anything out of state or within
Texas? Actually, so there is in 2 weeks, we'll actually be in the DC, DMV area. There's a conference called Buy Black. It's a Buy Black conference. We were invited there from the host. I think there's only going to be 4 Black-owned liquor brands there. We were one of the ones that were fortunately invited. So that'll be October, let me get the dates right. I think it's October 17th through the 21st.
Okay.
We're at the MGM Grand there in the DMV area. And so we'll have a booth there. We're hosting a lot of events. They have a few sponsored parties, events. They have a sneaker ball we'll be hosting during Buy Black. And actually that weekend goes right into Howard Homecoming, right there. So we're doing a lot of events for Howard Homecoming there in DC. So that's one big event. I know locally in Houston, next not this coming Monday, the following Monday, we partnered with a restaurant, Trez Bistro, and we're doing celebrity cocktail classes. So we have Candy Eastman is a local radio celebrity in Houston. So she's going to be a mixologist, and she's going to be making a series of drinks with GO3 Vodka. We had a successful one last week that was really good. And so, some things we have, of course, the homecoming's coming up, and we're just looking to do, just different events. And so there's a local bar, 5015 Bar and Lounge in Houston, where we host Thursday night football with them. So every Thursday we're there. We have drink specials, giving out giveaways, and so we're working with that. So it's a lot of different things. We're just trying to just stay involved and active in the community and just make our presence known.
I love that because it takes me back. It's like a glimpse. I don't know if you're familiar with Black Wall Street.
Oh yeah.
So how the dollar circulated in the actual neighborhood 7 to 8 times before it went out.
Right.
So you said you have a Black business, a Black brand, and you're partnering with other Black companies,
restaurants and bars.
So,
yes,
right.
Yeah.
So the money is circulating within our community and it's building our community. So that's beautiful. That's an awesome thing. A last question for you. Is GO3 Vodka the only Black owned vodka? in Texas?
No, it's not. So there are others. I know of about 3 or 4 black-owned vodkas in Texas.
Okay.
We are the only one that is a sweet potato based vodka. So we're the only sweet potato vodka in the state of Texas. And of course, black owned, the only one that there is at all. And but yeah, there are others. And actually, we partnered with some of the other black owned vodka companies and kind of just work together because it's
Okay.
not even other black owned rums. We do events with them because we don't look at it as a competition. I mean, there's enough people in Texas and the U.S.
Absolutely, especially in Houston, just in general.
We can all support each other, and that's what it's all about, just uplifting all of us, and so we all can work together. But we are the first sweet potato vodka in Texas. First, of course, the only black-owned sweet potato vodka, and we're looking to just do great things. So we know really, I just want to thank everyone for the support. We've had great support these first 3 months, and I just want to thank everyone for supporting us. And those who haven't had the opportunity will be probably by the end of this year, we'll be moving on to other states nationwide. We're in Total Wine now in Houston, in Texas, and also Specs is a big brand in Texas, along with other locations. Okay. So we'll be at Total Wine in other states very soon. So that'll work well.
There you have it, guys. Look, make sure, I know you guys that's in the Houston area, and I know and y'all, y'all go to these spots, Trez, 5015, Urban Social, all the spots that normal people go to. Y'all make sure that y'all order the GO3 Vodka. I had it already, and when I go out, I'm gonna get it for my wife because, like I said, I'm not a drinker, but I'm gonna purchase a bottle for the studio. So Ron, when I'm back in Houston, man, you got to come to the studio, man, and have a sip with me, brother.
We're gonna make it happen. We'll make it happen.
I appreciate you guys for tuning in. Ron, give them the social media one more time.
Sure thing. GO3 Vodka, that's your general orders number 3, and the social media is at GO3 Vodka on all social media platforms.
There you go, guys. Make sure you go hit Ron up. Make sure you go hit GO3 up. Purchase. Don't purchase 1 bottle. Purchase 12 bottles. It comes in
a whole case.
A case. You dig?
Yeah, right. Exactly.
So, guys, I appreciate you guys for tuning in. This is DJ KO. I love you guys. Peace.
All right. Thanks a lot.